Hey, everyone. Welcome to AI by Design TV, where faith meets innovation and where we make AI make sense. And I'm your host, Tisha D. Colston, your certified AI consultant and digital biz bestie. And if you're ready to save time, create smarter, and show up like the CEO you are, you're in the right place. Let's build, let's automate, let's scale, all by design. I wanted to bring to you a quick review of what happens when you purchase a pick and publish product or an AI by design product here for publication through to Amazon here. So I have a couple of this one is specifically focused on the composition books, but it can be any of the bundle products. And I am doing them so that it all is in one link. And so when you first get your document, it will have a PDF. And in that PDF, there'll be two pages here. One is a thank you page, and the other one, please click to the link to access your product. So I'm in Canva now, so it will be be a PDF, but there's the link. And when you click on the link to bring up your document, it will bring up Canva that will look like this, and you'll be able to scroll through it. But what you want to do is click on Edit Template. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and click on Edit Template because I'm already in there editing the template. So once you bring it up here, then you'll also see this page again, right? But you will also see the first page that you'll come to, or within your pages, will be the full documents of everything you need in order to upload your information to KDP or whatever you choose for publishing. So let me just kind of go through this really quick. This is the same two pages. We all know that. Canva does this wonderful thing now where you can do different sizes within the document. And so this is the exact size that you need for publishing. So whatever documents I've included in your package, it won't look the same as this because there are different ones, but it will be the exact size that you need. So I'm going to show you how to work with this document, but let me just show you all that's in the kit, or at least in this one, and we'll see what's in yours. But this one is a composition only, so it just has line pages. And in here, I gave you two different types of line pages. You'll need to choose which one you want. So this one, it has a little line on the side. And then that one does not. It's just more straight pages. I also included the um, template for KDP. So in case you get off track or something happens, you can click copy and you can go back up to, so this is for your cover, and you can go back to your cover. You can press, paste that on there because that is the exact size. And then you can maybe do a transparency to make sure that you stay within the lines, right? So you want to stay within the lines of what you need. And if you're adding things to it, you want to make sure that you don't go inside of these white areas or the barcode, right? Because these are things that will print. This is the spine area here, so you want to stay clear from that as well, okay? So just to let you know, and then once you're done, you would delete that because you don't want to print it out with it, okay? All right, here. So some packs will have one, some packs will have two, it may have three, however many covers your pack has, that's what will be in here. This one has two sheets. You may just have one, you may have two. Like I said, the template. This is the front part of the cover. You may um so this is important because if you want to change what's on the front, it will still allow you to do that. Now, it may or may not have this in your document, but in most of them, I try to do this to where you have the front page so that you can, make some changes to that if you needed to move it around, make it bigger, make it smaller, whatever you needed to do. But mostly so that you can print this out or download it as a JPEG. And so when you download it as a JPEG or a PNG, then now you can take it and you can now share it as opposed to just having this, and you don't want to necessarily share that. So you do have the ability to do that. Um, I do want to call out that the link expires in 30 days. So you want to make sure you make copies so that way if you do mess up and you can't get it back, at least you still have a good copy of it. Otherwise, I'm not keeping copies of them. So just so you're aware there. But yeah, so each page is customizable. And then these are the pages that just came with, that I just kept it all in one document. So you won't necessarily need that, but you can take it now and make this into your own, to sell it because you want to sell it and you can include your links and you can change this verbiage up so that you have that even on, whichever one. And then this is the full cover design. So you could show people what your book looks like. And in your package, your bundle, you will have some mock-ups, okay? And so this is why having the first page is important because um, you'll be able to use that for your mock-ups. And in this case, I have a couple of mock-ups here. So now let me show you how this works. Now, when you are downloading you will need to download each document as a PDF. So in this case, and I've already done this, but I want to show you how to do this. So you'll click share and then you'll click download and then you want to select PDF print. And then you are going to select that page for that document. So don't do the whole thing because you only want to upload the cover to KDP or whatever you're uploading it to. And so I would then drop the download. Well, actually, before I do that, I want to say download. In Canva, if you have the pro version, if not, don't worry about it because before they even had this, I was just printing them out. So it's PDF print, okay? And then you want to choose CMYK best for professional printing. So that's what I do. And then I will select my current page that I'm on, okay? And then you'll just download that as a PDF. So it'll show up as a PDF on your computer. Now, in the packet, you may have, just one page or two page. You may have them all, but you'll need to check to see this. This cover is made for 150 sheets of paper. So it tells you right there, 150 pages. So that means that if you go too much far underneath the 150, like if you do 148, it'll be fine. If you do 152, it'll be fine. I'm not sure if it'll be right though if you do like 155. So you may have to go back into KDP and redo your cover and redo the sizes if you do that. So my suggestion is to stick to the 150 pages that this template was created for. Okay. And then what you'll need to do is, and what I've done is that whichever one you choose, or if there's only one, you'll need to come and make the however many pages. So in this case, it's 150 pages. Sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 120. Just depends on the bundle that you bought. But you'll need to make 150 of those pages. And so that's what I've done here. I've made 150 of these pages. Now, to do that, you can just click on it. What I did was I drag the page to the end, okay? And then at the top here, you see duplicate page. So I duplicate until I get to 10 of them. And once I get to 10, I highlight them. So I hold the shift down and I just highlight 10 of them. Or actually, one, two, three. Click on one and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then click on the shift and it highlights that. Now you can uh, click control or the right hand of the mouse and bring up this box, or you can just duplicate, but it'll duplicate 10 pages. And that way it makes it quicker. So you can duplicate till you get to 150. And then once you get to 150 pages, let me close the grid. Once you get to 150 pages, now you'll need to download that, and that'll also be in a PDF. And so um, you'll click share, and then you'll click download. Then you'll again do PDF print. And if you have the pro version, you'll choose that. And then you want to change your pages. And this is why I say to do it at the end, because you'll go ahead and change the pages to, in this case, 18. Well, I added a page, but it would be 19. And so 18, 19. So now the only thing is selected is page 18 through 168. When we come down here, we'll see that that's checked. So when I click done and when I click download, it will only download those pages. And that's very important because we're going to upload that into KDP. Okay. So now that's all I need. I need an inside and I need an outside. So the outside was the cover and the insides are these interior pages. Now I am almost ready to bring this over to KDP. So the next thing you want to do is go over to ChatGPT. Go over to ChatGPT. This is what I do. Okay. And then there's some people that have some GPTs out there that'll help you come up with descriptions and all that. But I'm gonna tell you, this is what I do. I upload the front copy of the book, whatever book it is. But in this case, it's a composition book. I said, I'm selling this on Amazon. It'll be 150 line pages. I should have put that it's 8.5 by 11 because you'll see here in a minute. And then please create an SEO title and description as well as 7 keywords. Those are the three things. Actually, there's a fourth, which is categories, and you'll see that. So you need SEO title, um, or you can just say a title, a description for the product, and you need 7 keywords and you need categories. Okay. And so then it'll come up with a title. And if you don't like the title, you can always ask it to redo the title, come up with some ideas, and or you can do it one at a time. Please create a title. Give me 5 ideas for a title, and then you can work it one at a time. Then once you get the title down, you can do the product description, and then you can do your keywords, and then you can do your categories. Okay. So now that we have the title, the description, the SEO, and let's see here, and then the categories, we're ready to upload into Amazon. So now, one thing that this reminded me of was that you can customize your covers. And so, whatever cover you have, you can still make adjustments to it and customize it. That's the whole point of having it in Canva. And so, if I wanted the back of, and this is kind of busy. And so, I was going to put something on the back of it, but it just was drowning it out and I didn't feel like playing with it anymore. So this was busy enough for the back cover. But in yours, you may have this full one, you may not, but you can definitely, add your elements to it. So if I wanted to add, let's say a shape to it, move it over. And now I can type in there and then I can change these colors here and make it more. I can, make it transparent so that it still shows up, but it's not so big. And I can make this smaller. Oh, undo. I can make this smaller and make it more like a band. So anyway, you can do what you want to do there. I was going to put my We Be Publishing logo, right? So if you have a logo for your business or your brand, you could do that, right? But I just thought it was just drowning it out. And so I'll show you what that looked like on this one. There we go. And it's okay. But I just chose not to do that. But just so you know, in any of the books, this is what you can do. You can change things around and you can customize it to whatever you need to do. Even the inside pages, if you wanted to customize those. So, what I was thinking about doing, and that was actually putting some empowering quotes on the back of that book. And so I asked ChatGPT to give me 5 short, empowering quotes. Okay. Something that you can do, something to think about. The other thing that you can do with your books, if you choose, is before unless you're going to do different ones on all the pages, but before you do all of the adding 150 pages, you want to make sure that one page you are going to duplicate is correct. Okay. You want to make sure that's right. Otherwise, you'd be making 150 changes. If you're going to, let's say, have 7 days or 7 days a week, and then you're going to have new ones for, each week, then you want to do 7 days worth and then copy those, if that makes sense. If you have any questions about that, you need help with that, just go to pickandpublish.com, go ahead and schedule an appointment with me, and then we can actually go through it and I can walk you through how to upload your books and customize them for you. Okay. Either that or go to AI by Design and I can help you out there. You can schedule an appointment through there too, or tishadcolston.com. Anyway, so yeah, so you would want to do that and you can maybe put something at the bottom, or you could even put let's say you're like, oh, I want to have her, right? In this, I keep scrolling. But let's say I wanted to have her on the pages, right? So now you have the page, and remember these are elements, and so I could copy that element and I could take the element and I could paste it here. I could make it smaller. Right? Now she's there, and I can make it transparent, right? So now she's there, and I can even make it go to the back so that the lines are more in the front. I could put a box around it. Let me undo that. Right. I could leave her up front. I could put a white box around it so that you don't see the lines at all. Right. And then change that to white. And then let's bring that down a little bit. Cover that line up, cover that hair up. So now it's just a white box. And then when I click on it, I can go to position, go to layers, and I could bring her above the white box. So now there's no line there. So then you can make your adjustments, but there still is the line here. And if I wanted the box, it's a little too close to those lines, then I would do position, layers, I'd select it, and then draw that out a little bit more. There we go. So that way that looks a little bit more better there. So that is an idea that you can do as well. And it actually adds something. Now, when you print it out or you publish it with KDP, unless you choose the color option, she will come out in black and white. So just know that color option costs more for publications, and also you'll need to check the size and make sure that the size remains the same when you go into redo your templates. So anyway, but we have our 100, that was a sidebar, but we have our 150 pages because we're not doing all that. And this is a composition book, so we don't need to do that. So I've got the pages and I already have them downloaded. I have my SEO title, I have my description, I have my keywords, and I have my categories. Okay. Now, they don't always get the categories right. So we'll see what that looks like when we get into Amazon. So now, if you're on your kdp.amazon.com account, if you do not have one, go ahead and register. It is free to do that. And then you will select create new title or series. And when you do that, you'll select create paperback. Okay. I'm not going to do that because I have this one created. Uh-oh. All right. So I have this one created. So I'm going to click on continue to set up. And so now here's where you enter in your title, a subtitle. It didn't give us a subtitle. I just broke it down. So you'll need to make it the best way that you can. Just know this, that whatever your title, it says check your spelling and believe you me, I've published misspelled, and I'll tell you what. it remains on their thing, on their in their database, but you can take it out of print, but it will still come up. So you just want to make sure to get it right. But check your spelling. This is a field that cannot be updated after publication. And so you want to make sure that this is exactly how you want it to appear in Amazon, okay? It's not going to be a series or anything. You want to make sure your name is how exactly how it is. Now, I normally put a D in for mine, okay? So let's see here. There's no contributors. And then here's that description. This is where you'll paste that. You're going to select I own the copyright and hold the necessary publishing right. No, it's not sexually explicit images or titles. You're going to leave this as Amazon.com. Here are the categories. I've already chosen them, but if you click on the categories, you'll be able to choose the categories for your book and then save those. Okay. Then here's where those keywords go. So there's exactly 7 of them, which is why I asked for 7. And then the publication date and release date are the same. And then release my book for sale now. So then we'll go ahead and click save and continue. It's going to go over to the second page. There are 3 pages, as you can see here. You're going to choose for a low content book, which is what most of these are. You're going to choose published without an ISBN. And this strictly means you can publish a low content book without an ISBN or add one if you've already purchased that. Let me go back here because I think I skipped over something. Here, does your book classify as any of these types? Choose all that apply. So if this is a journal, a notebook, a planner, this tells you what is a low content book. So they have minimal or no content in the interior pages. The pages are generally repetitive and designed to be filled in by the user. Now, a coloring book is up for grabs on whether or not that is a low content book or not. But you could not choose the low content. That's fine. Let me show you what happens when you don't choose it. When you don't choose it, you can have a KDP assign an ISBN. So get a free KDP ISBN. But for a low content book, you don't need one. So if this is a composition book that you're doing, you do not need um, a you do not need an ISBN. So I'm going to go ahead and change that back because I don't need one for this. Where was it? Oh, there it is. Because it is a low content book. So go back there, save and continue. Just want to show you how that option changes. It's no big deal. So publish without, or I could add my own. You can always go purchase your own. They do cost though. So um and then you're going to choose now. It just depends on you and what you're choosing for a composition book. You want to choose black and white interior with white paper, right? You can, do premium color interior with white paper, standard color interior with white paper, black and white interior with cream paper. So, but for compositions and planners and all of that, you really do want it to be white paper. I don't particularly like the cream color paper, although I made a mistake and I chose cream for a book and I was like, oh, this isn't bad. Uh, but yes, generally white paper. Here's you're going to choose your trim size. Now it automatically defaults to 9 by 6 or 6 by 9. And so you're going to need to select a different size and these different trim sizes come up. If you have your own trim size, then you're going to put your parameters in here. But mostly these are the standard trim sizes. So my book's 8.5 by 11. Doesn't have a bleed. A bleed would be that if the images or print or whatever came to the edges, I would need to have a bleed. And so that means that the pages need to be slightly bigger in order to capture the full the full print. Otherwise, they'll have that print line, you know how it how a print line. Otherwise, it will have that. In the case of a composition book, or if you order something from me, I would specifically tell you, you know, what size it needs to be, or actually, I'd have the size for you, and to select the bleed option. Okay. But this is no bleed. I don't know why it says PDF only. I've not ever done anything other than a PDF. So it's as though you can get a choice. Paperback cover finish. So whether you want matte or glossy. In the case of a composition, because we want them to be able to write their name on it, then you probably want matte finish because glossy is going to be a little bit more harder to write on. I love the glossy finish for other books. I don't really like the matte finish for books, but for composition books, I would choose matte. For planners and other types of journals, I would choose glossy, but you can figure that out and make your choices yourself. Um, those things you can change. So these things, if it doesn't tell you you can't change it, then you can change it. Um, I believe the size that once you choose the size of the book, though, you can't change the size of the book without redoing that book. But you can change the finish. Anyway, so you will upload your manuscript. So these were those two documents that came from Canva, and you'll choose upload. And the first document is the interior document. That is called the manuscript. And so you want to upload that manuscript. Now, I'm not going to do that because I've already done that. And then you want to choose, there's two options here, and you want to choose upload a cover you've already have print ready. And so you'll choose upload your cover file and you'll do the same thing, upload it. You'll see uploaded successfully. Your book most likely will not have a barcode unless you purchased a barcode. So Amazon will put its barcode on the book. Now, AI generated content. For some content may have AI in it and some may not. Most of the time, when you see an image from me, it is an AI image. And it will be Dolly or Midjourney or ChatGPT. Those are the three. If you have a question about which one I use and I did not include it in the listing, then just let me know. It's no big deal, although it is a big deal in the sense that you do need to say that it is, you know, that you used AI. Now, it does not hinder you from getting your book processed or put you on the back burner or nothing, but they want to know. So they want to know you're going to say that. Now, in the case of a composition book, I don't have any. So I'm going to say no because it's just line pages. For images, the composition book images were created in Dolly. Some of them were created in Canva. So, yeah, so just depends. And then translation is not being translated. So, no, I put none, right? Or you can click no. But if it's from Pick and Publish or AI by Design, it's going to be a yes. Unless it doesn't have an image on it. If it doesn't have an image on it, it may not be AI generated. Okay. And then the next step is after you've made changes, you've got to come here and you've got to launch the print previewer. You have to do that. It will not let you go to the next section without doing that. And this is where you're going to see what the book looks like. Here are all the lines that you really don't want to go past those lines because it may or may not cut off, and definitely not the black lines, okay? You want to keep things in the red line and do not go outside of the black lines for sure. But this is your quality check. If there are any errors, errors will come up over here and you'll need to fix those errors before you can move on to the next section. This is taking a long time to come up. But this will be the front copy when it first comes up. And then you'll be able to flip through the pages. And so this is what those pages look like. And let's go back to the front. Okay, so now we have the front copy. It's still loading here. It's taking a little while. I think it's my computer. So this is kind of cutting it close there, but it's still good. We're in there. Now I could stand to move the picture up a little bit or move this up a little bit. I think I'll go on some of them and just move it up a little bit. Um, and otherwise, this is fine. There's that barcode I talked to you about. And look, there's no errors. If you come across an error, let me know because I try to do this so that I know that it has no errors. Now you can have the two-page view, which is this way when you click through. So, it's always start on the right-hand side when you open up the book. And then you've got the full book going on here. And then you've got the thumbnail view so you can see what it looks like side to side. And there that is there. Now you could put a page in the back of it that says order more here if that's what you'd like to do, or your information if you want to do that way. But you can see the whole book there, and then you would click approve. So now once you got that approved, you'll go on to the next page, you'll click save and continue, and it even tells you how much this is going to cost. So it's going to cost you $3.55 per book on Amazon, right? That'll be important here in a minute. You can leave all territories, all that. You can leave all that. Here's where you will put the price. So this is what you want to list the price at. The minimum is $7.10 for Amazon. Yeah. 710. It's 150 pages. If you do 100 pages, it will be lower, but you'll need to adjust that. So yeah, 710 means if you make this book $9.99, um, printing is 355, the rate is 60%, you're gonna get $2.14 from each book that is sold on Amazon for $9.99. Now you can just print the book out for $3.55. And then anything you sell it for is your profit, right? Because you are doing the selling. But for the books that are listed on Amazon, and you're gonna do $9.99. If you want to do $10.99 and you get $3. So it changes it so that you can see what your royalty rate is. Okay. Uh, and you won't even mess with any of these prices. Those are all specific to those countries. I believe you can change them, but I've never changed them. I just let it change according to what I put in here. Okay. Now, excuse me. Terms and conditions. You can click publish. You can request a proof of your book. It depends on you. Request a proof of the book and it'll do that. And then you can go and pay for a proof and get that before it actually goes live. Other than that, you can click on publish your paperback book. And within 72 hours, it will be available for purchase on Amazon. You won't be able to get the proof of the book until it's published if you selected publish your book. So you want to make that decision now. You can request a proof after it goes live, but what is the point of that? You may as well just order yourself a book. Also, I want to let you know that you can change the prices. So sometimes I will go ahead and publish a book and then I will change the price to the lowest that it could go. So in this case, the minimum that it could go is $7.10, right? Um, uh, so $7.10, there's no royalty on that, right? So, but sometimes I will do that just so I could go ahead and get it done without paying for shipping and because I have a Prime account, so I'll go ahead and do that. The price pretty much comes out to be the same. It's probably just better to order an author copy, and they've gotten so much better in the last three or four that I've ordered of getting them to you in a timely manner. Before, I would have to do that because it would take so long in order to get your author copy. But now it's been in the next week that I get the author copy. So that is that has taken away my need to change the prices. One thing to note, if you do change the price, remember to put it back, because I've done that too. So $9.99. Now it tells you that if your list price is, let me change it to $9. List price at $9.99 or more earns 60%. Okay. So if I just do $9, I'm only getting 50% royalty. I want you to notice that now my royalty is 95 cents. Okay. So if I'm going to do $9, I might want to do $9.99 because I get $2.44. Um, so yeah. And we've already gone over publish your paper book. So that's it. Let me know what questions you have. And yeah, you can go to tishadcolson.com or pickandpublish.com and you can, or even AI by Design Academy.com, and you can schedule some time to meet with me if you're having trouble uploading. It does cost, but you can schedule some time and we can go over it. We can get your book published for you. All right. Until we meet again. Hey, you be blessed, be fruitful, and multiply. And don't forget to press a like and subscribe on this video so you can learn more. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.